Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this page, please kindly subscribe and let's grow together. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be spilling the tea. I'm going to be sharing some secrets, some things that helped me or some mistakes I made and how I have improved on those mistakes. Okay, and then I'm going to be telling you how you can get a flawless and natural looking braided wig, just like this one that I have on. You can see how natural it's looking. And mind you, this lace is not HD lace. This ventilation I did, tutorials is on my page. You can check them out if you want to know how I achieved this. You see how it's not looking tacky, it's not looking rough, it's looking very natural. In fact, from far, somebody won't even know that I'm putting on a wig. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some mistakes I made when I started making braided wigs and how I have improved on those mistakes. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first mistake I made when I was making braided wig or when I started making braided wig was that I used to make my wigs very, very bulky. I used to make my wigs very, very, very bulky. And when some of my customers will wear it and they'll be like, this wig is heavy, I can't wear it for long. So I had to improve on that. And then one secret how I improved on, you know, making less bulky wigs was that I learned how to space my wigs. Okay, I learned how to space my wigs. If you're making a braided wig, you don't have to put so much at the back because that's what brings the wig, like it pulls the wig down. Like if your back is very, bulky or not well spaced, it's going to affect the weight, the overall weight of the wig. Where you should focus your attention is the top part of the wig. And now when I say focus your attention, doesn't mean you have to, full or make it so full at the top part, no. But when you're going from down to up, okay, let's say you give 3 or 4 meters apart. So let's say meters or centimeters, I don't know, but you just have to space it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop a tutorial very soon. So you just have to space them. Make sure that you space the back. Okay, maybe the first 3 lines. Make sure that it's well spaced. And another thing you should do, you know how you do this. You know how you make braids. You braid in between the two grades that you have, like maybe the next line. I'm going to do a practical video. I'm just trying to give you the theory first. You braid, like you've braided here, you give space, you braid there again, then the next line that is the next line you're going to braid on. You braid in between that space you gave for the 2 braids you've previously braided down. I don't know if you understand, but I'm going to drop a practical video anyway. So that's how you can avoid your wigs from being bulky. And then just focus your attention on closing, the top part. Closing the top part. Focus your attention on closing the top part, because you can braid them like somehow close to each other. That's what's going to cover your wigs. Make sure that your wigs are covered and make sure that it is very light. Another thing that would help your wigs to be less bulky is when your wigs are small braids. Like look at this one I have on now. You can see how tiny the braids are. See how very tiny it is. So if the tinier your braids, the less bulky your braids is going to come out. Okay. And then another thing that I want to advise, I made this mistake so much when I was learning how to make braided wigs, and I just recently upgraded that, mistake. Like I recently improved on it. You see this wig now, okay? You can see the wig. There is no bump at the side. Everywhere is flat, right? That is because when I was ventilating my closure, I ventilated on that thick part. You know that thick part that they fold. If you're using a closure that has already been sewn, you buy this already sewn closures from the market. That thick part where they sew, you have to ventilate on it because you're going to braid on it. I even recently just discovered something which I'm going to share in my next video. So if you want to know that secret, make sure you follow me and turn on your notifications so you can get notified when I post a new video. Anyways, you ventilate on that thick part. Ventilate on that thick part now means that you're going to braid on that part. So there is no need for you to, cover, or there's no need for you to braid on those thick pads, because you know some people crochet on that thick pad. They put, I used to do it before, you put a crochet pin through and you tie and then you braid. It makes the wig bulky at the sides, at the back. It doesn't give you this natural look. That's why many people will be like, I don't like braided wigs, they are not natural. That is why. Just look at this one I'm wearing now. You see how flat it's looking. See how flat it is on both sides, even at the back. I'm going to do a 360 when I'm done with this video, but you can see how it's looking flat and natural. That's because I ventilated on those stick parts. Now on those stick parts, I'm going to braid like my normal braiding, my normal knotless braid. Okay, that is one secret on how to, make your wig look very, very natural. Okay. And then another thing that will make your wig natural is your pattern of ventilation. I have tutorials on my page, as I said. You can check them out. Okay. I feel like the more you leave spaces, like I know many people want to try and meet up, their orders. They will do 2 line spacing, 3 line spacing, but those line spacing, they make braided wigs look very unrealistic. Your braiding might be very, very fine, but your ventilation, when somebody comes close, it doesn't look appealing to the eyes. Okay, ever since I started making braided wigs, I learned how to close my box, fill up my boxes. Like I don't like those space ventilation. It doesn't really look fine and real. You get. So I have tutorials on my page. You can check. There are some that you can space, like diagonal ventilation. You can actually space it. Maybe I use diagonal pattern for my full list. Okay. There is also in between. In between is one of the most natural. This pattern I use for this braided wig is in between method. You see how natural it's looking. You see how very, very natural it's like. Maybe I made it on my hair, but it's actually a braided wig. So these are some of the things that can help you improve your braided wig game. Okay, if you don't have the strength to ventilate, you can search for good ventilators. That people that actually put in the work, and people that know how to ventilate, people that know the services. They will tell you like, okay, do you want space, do you want in between? I know there's a girl on TikTok that actually does that. She asks you the pattern you want for her to use, and you pay accordingly. Okay, I know ventilation is not really easy, so if you want a good work, if you want people to keep coming back, if you want your wig to keep getting, as in reviews, make sure that your ventilation is nice, your ventilation is fine. So first of all, what will attract them, aside the fact that your braid is fine, is how natural the wig looks. Okay, I'm going to try and post as much practical videos as I can before the end of this year, so that I can share my experience, share my growth, share everything with you. All right, so that's it for this video. Am I forgetting anything? Am I forgetting anything? Okay, I've explained how you can make your wig less bulky, and then how you can make it very natural by your ventilation. Doing a good ventilation would help you a lot. It will help you create a natural looking braided wig. All right, so that's it for this video. In subsequent videos, I'm going to still share some secrets with you. I'm going to still share some information, okay, because it's about growing and improving and getting better on this piece. So watch out for my next video, and thank you. If you stayed up to this moment, thank you so much for watching. And if you've not subscribed, please kindly subscribe so that we can grow together. See you in my next video. Bye.